you to do it again?
Yeah, one more time.
Okay.
Hello, Arielle.
Hey.
Welcome to the Viva Eve Podcast. You are a patient here at Viva Eve. You have been for a long time, which is
Yes.
great. When did you find us?
In around 2019.
You came here almost 12 years ago from Alabama, and you came to us actually for fibroids.
Yes.
And I want to know about moving here, being diagnosed with fibroids. What did that look like? How did it all happen? Tell me the saga.
I think 2017, 2018, I had a hernia. So that was my first time going into a hospital to get that removed. Then late 2018, 2019, I started feeling some pain in my stomach, inflammation, my stomach, like the skin of my stomach, you can visually see it was getting red after working out for a session. I was doing some crunches, and then next thing you know, it started hurting as I kept doing crunches. But I'm like, I'm just going to power it through. Okay. And it just became unbearable. And I lift up my shirt, and my stomach is full blown red. And it's amazing because when you see my complexion, I'm actually a little bit darker skin. So to see that my stomach is red was crazy. So then I started feeling some pain after that, even like touching and pushing down on it. And I was like, yeah, something is going on. So that's when I started the journey of going to clinics and hospitals to see what was happening.
Okay. How did they figure out that you had fibroids?
So they pretty much just did like a touchy feel thing. It was just like, yeah. It was like, things seem okay. And I'm just like, no, things are not okay because I'm feeling some. So then I got referred to somewhere else. They didn't really tell me too much of anything. I probably saw about 4 or 5 different doctors. One person actually told me it's a possibility that it's cancer, like a cancer tumor. And I'm just like, all right, well, definitely was not expecting that. Yeah. I even flew all the way to Alabama to UAB, which is our like main celebrity known hospital down in Alabama. Wasn't able to even go there because they was like, I have to be referred for MRI. Came back here, finally went to the hospital down the street from me. It was like a sub hospital that they just opened up. That's when one of the doctors was like, yeah, something's wrong. Are you pregnant? Because this may be a pregnancy. So I was like, yeah, no, I'm not pregnant. Took a pregnancy test, came back negative. So she's like now touching. As she touching, she's like having a more concerned face. And she was like, yeah, something is not right here.
Something's up.
And I'm just like, that's apparent. She was like, yeah, no, this is a little confusing. I'm going to schedule you an emergency visit. So when she says emergency visit, I'm just like, okay, something is really, going on. That she put me in panic mode almost the way that she said it. So had the visit and it was like, okay, it seems like you have fibroids. I did an ultrasound. They was like, yeah, some tumors here. Usually they're benign, but we can see what we can do about your fibroid. So it wasn't really clear cut, but at least I now had some kind of direction of an answer of what was going on.
So you get this scan.
Yeah.
They confirm your fibroids.
Yep.
How did you get here? How did you get to Viva Eve?
So after that last visit, I refused to wait on them. That's when I was like, okay, at least now that I know some kind of direction of an answer, let me just put in Google the clinics who know about fibroids or fibroid specialists. It was along those lines. Viva Eve immediately popped up. You already had good reviews at the time. The Manhattan office was not open at the time, so it was the one in Forest Hills. So yeah, that was my first visit there. Oh my gosh. Stepping through the door, I immediately felt calm, cool, like I was in the right hands. From the initial receptionist staff.
So you ended up going through that UFE. What was it like for you before the procedure and after?
Painful administration, heavy bleeding. I could not exercise in full the way that I wanted to. You have painful intercourse.
And then afterwards, did you feel that was it helpful? Was it a noticeable change? Was it gradual? What was it like dealing with the symptoms after the UFE?
Afterwards, it was definitely not as much bleeding at all. I did not go through hardly any pain. There was just one time, but I feel like it was something else that I probably ate that day. But after that, literally no problems the way that I could start back working out. I did not see any more redness in my stomach from that day forward.
I mean, you went on a real journey. I mean, literally flying back to Alabama and everything was right here. The whole
physical
time,
journey.
Which was great. And now, so you're 5 years out. We know that, based on UFE procedures and history and things like that, that sometimes the fibroids completely go away. Sometimes some shrink, but still linger. I know you and I talked, you still have one fibroid, but it feels manageable.
Yeah.
Right. And you feel, you know, that you've kind of come through the thick of it, if you will.
Yeah.
Looking back, when you think about when you started this whole journey, like, what do you think about from 10 years ago? And what would you tell yourself, or what would you tell a young woman who this might be on the, you know, something she might have to deal with? What would you say?
I would say to my younger self, see what is the most common in women issues and start getting involved from there. Because if I would have known then of the statistics of fibroids, especially in women of color, then I would have been less likely to have a panic mode when this journey started.
Yeah, it's a good point. Information is power for sure. Well, I think you're really living up and stepping up to the plate for that younger Arielle. And I hope that she sees this and I hope she hears you. Because I think it's so important. We here as an organization, we're really focused on trying to help women become more educated on everything. You know, we want you to be a real participant in your health and know that there are providers and spaces for women and women of color to really be heard. The challenge seems like a huge mountain to climb, I think, from both the healthcare perspective and the patients. But I'm so glad that you're here. Yeah, and I'm so glad that we get to do this together.
Yes.
And thank you for sharing your message and your story. And we're going to do everything we can to amplify it. And we just appreciate you so much.
Thank you, Alex, for having me.